Welcome to Brain Training.
With the reason because whenever the students try to search online, especially on YouTube, paper 1 ICT 0417 Cambridge International Exam, they couldn't find the training on paper 1. So this series is especially for those students who have difficulty in the paper 1, because the paper 1 contains the 60% of your 40% of your marks. So it's vital to get A plus in your final exam. So let's see. This paper you will start by writing your candidate name, center number, and candidate number. This is very important, and you should not forget that. Secondly, you should also remember like something that is written in the instruction. Never staple paper clips or the glue or correction fluid. You should not use that. Always use dark blue and a black pen. Don't use any other color of pen. This will affect your marks as well. So let's start straight away. I'm solving the paper 2017 October-November exam, and this is a variance one, if you can see it here. So let's start. Question number 1. There are many types of printer. Name the printer which best fits the description given below. A printer that prints by pressing the metal pins against the ink ribbon onto the paper. This is undoubtedly dot matrix printer that is commonly used in hospitals and supermarkets. These printers are also called impact printer because they impact on the paper like a typewriter. A printer that sprays a tiny droplet of ink directly onto the paper, we know it's an inkjet printer because the inkjet printers spray paint onto the paper. That's why whenever we take the paper out from that type of printer, it's always wet. It takes few seconds to dry it up. A printer that uses toner to transfer the print image to the plain paper, like the toner cartridge we use for the laser jets. So from the toner you should understand it's a laser jet, and laser jet send laser of toner to the paper, then passes through a heater melt down the ink, and when the ink is being melted, it's become the part of the paper and dried on the same time. That's why we get hot paper all the time. A printer that use resin to create solid object. Resins is threads, plastic thread that we use to create the 3D object. So this is a 3D printer. Question number 2. Complete each sentence below using the most appropriate items of the list. If you see here, we have 1, 2, 3, and 4 central devices to create a network. Okay, so we have input devices as well: keyboard, microphone, mouse, scanner, sensors, and printer is output. So these 5 are input, 1 output, and the 4 central devices. Let's see, and all the questions are related to networks. So let's see. I think that these 4 will be the most important thing that we should do. A network device which broadcasts the data passing through it is called, anyone who can guess? Hub is the device that always broadcasts. You have to remember that. Okay, so hub is the device that always broadcasts, and it's a dumb device. Whatever when in a network of a hub, if someone sends data to any other computer, it will broadcast to all other computers. So that's why it's not secure. A network device that contains LAN with the internet is called router. Same type of question I have seen in one of the other paper. The statement is little different. A network device that connects LAN with a WAN. So this is also the same. Okay, router. C, the network device that connects LAN to another LAN. This type of the device that connects two networks, such a device is called bridge. Okay. A network device that learns which device are connected to which port is called a device that learns. Okay, There are two devices that basically learn: router and switches. Because we have already written router, the switch cannot perform that task like a LAN to an internet, but the router can. So this is going to be switch. Okay, so switch is also a device that can perform this function. If you have any question, you can put the comment below in the discussion board, so that I can help you if you need further details of any question. Question number 3. First, I will explain to you. This is the first video of the series. You should remember like this type of question where you have to check true and false, and there are always 4 options, and the 2 marks question. If one of the 4 is correct, you will get 0 marks. Yes, you will get 0 marks. If 2 of the 4 is correct, you will get 1 marks. If 3 or 4 is correct, you will again get only 1 mark. And if 4 of them are correct, then you will get 2 marks. Okay, I hope you understand, because I need not to tell you over and over again. Answer to multiple choice examination paper can be read using an optical mark reader. We know the optical mark reader read marks like rectangle, circle. Okay, so the purpose of it is to read mark. And the multiple choice question, you have circle. So circle is a mark. So marked circles being read by optical mark reader is correct. Okay, so the answer is true. Okay. MICR, magnetic ink character reader, usually used in banks, and it used to read the checks. Read the information on credit card. No, it cannot read. For the credit card, we use 2 types of device: a pin reader or chip reader, and the second one is the what is called magnetic stripe reader. Okay, so these are the 2 types of device we use for the card reader. So MICR is used to read the checks, so that's why it's incorrect. The chip on the credit card is read by a pin reader. No, it's incorrect. Not a pin reader, as I told you, it's a chip reader. So cross. Now the last one in the question 3, an RFID, radio frequency identification chip, can be used to track the stock. Yes, we can see like all branded expensive items, they use RFID because this is most efficient, and whenever someone passes through without making the payment, so the the remote readers, the theft controller will check that person. Okay, so now let's go to the question number 4. If you see in this question, this question is of 4 marks. Okay, so all of these will we have 4 questions, and each question will take 1 mark. This question is not like the other question we have just discussed. Pick whether the following activities are the part of design or implementation or the evaluation of a system. Okay, so this is the system development life cycle chapters question: design, implementation, and evaluation. There are 3 phases of it. So let's see. Comparing the outcome with the original task requirement. Comparing the outcomes with the original task requirement. So like whatever we have built, we are comparing with the requirement that is made by our client. So this is a type of evaluation. So the answer here is evaluation, not implementation or design. So outcomes always compared at the end. Now the next one is changing over the new system. This is definitely implementation, because this is one of the type of implementation system changeover. So we have different types. For example, we have direct changeover, we have parallel, we have phase by phase type of implementation. Okay, and this is how the implementation works. Now the third one in 4th question is identifying any limitations and necessary improvement to the systems. Okay, so we are trying to identify the limitation. If you see here the word limitation and improvement. So we are checking either system is okay, is there something missing into it, or we want to improve it. This is again, once the system is being built, then we can check it. So it's a part of evaluation system. Okay, because in the evaluation system we try to see like what is the outcome, it matches the need, or anything else we can improve or add to it. This we discuss in the evaluation stage. Last but not the least, in the fourth is selecting validation routines. So a validation routine, so it means that we are checking the data, we are validating it. So the validation routine is being done in the design tab, where we check like which types of validation we will apply in the design phase. Okay, this is how you will get the 4 marks. Question number 5. A laptop computers are often equipped with the solid state drive and the hard disk drive. Give the 4 advantage of solid state drive compared to hard disk drive. In this question, you will write the benefit of SSD over HDD. Okay, so remember, you have to give a comparative statement as the word compare is being used. Okay, and you have to write the advantage of SSD. So what you will write, I will give you like few answers so that you can understand like how to write the answer. Number 1, less noisy than HDD. Simple one. Okay, so as HDD have mechanical component, so it produce more noise. Consume less energy than HDD. We know like it's not very the difference is not very big, but what about like if we are working in a data center where the too many hard disks is being used, then the energy counts a lot. Okay, although the noise in HDD is negligible, but the still we can say like noise exists more than SSD. Okay, third one, SSD is lighter than HDD. So now you get up till now you got 3 marks. Okay, now the fourth one, the real advantage of SSD is faster than HDD. Okay, so access time is much more lesser than the HDD. Data transfer speed is more than HDD. So you can understand like how good it is. A SSD is also smaller in size than HDD. You can see in all these statements that I have made, I have written a comparative statement. So you should also write the same way. I have written 5, even 4. If you write 4, all will be considered correct. Okay, so if you want me to write more, so I will say less impact damage. For example, you had an HDD and it fell off from your hand on the floor. So their possibility of damage is far more than the SSD. For example, a USB is also an SSD device. We used to throw to one another. Even if fell off, it will not get damaged. Same is the portable hard disk. Like if you have portable external hard disk of SSD, even if it fell off, it saves your data. No bad clusters can be found there as well. So this is a question number 4. The second part I will complete only in the question number 5, and I will stop this video. The rest you can see in next video. People know that people now tend to buy the laptops rather than the desktop computer. Despite this, the desktop computers are still fairly popular. Describe the 3 advantages of using desktop computer rather than the laptop computer. So we supposed to write the advantage of using desktop, not to buy a laptop. So what are the benefits that we can get? I will type it fast because I have to finish it in 16-minute video so that you can not get bored. Theory is always boring, but be patient and try to prepare whatever you should. So the first advantage of can be easier to upgrade. You know, the desktop system is far more easier to upgrade, and the equipment is also available. Okay, you can buy extra RAM, you can change your hard disk quite easily. Okay, it is cheaper than laptop. You can see, like, in all offices we always use desktop computer rather than laptop computer. There are two basic reasons. One, difficult to theft. Yeah, a laptop the thief can easily take from offices, but if we talk about the computer, it cannot. I will put one more, and you can just go for the next video. I hope you understand. The last is the work performance is better on desktop. Welcome back. It's the second video for the paper 2017 October November variance 1. So we're gonna start with the question number 6. Question number 6 asked about describe the difference between internet and intranet. I have seen this question many times in the past paper, and this is considered as one of the most important and a common question in the past paper that you should prepare. So in this question you just need to write the difference. So rather memorizing everything, you should memorize some of the point. I'm gonna type it for you. So the first point is like the internet is public and the intranet is private. The second point that you should remember is policed. So intranet can be policed and internet cannot be policed, or there are some reservations like how we can police internet. Within a country it's possible, but outside the country theft is not possible. I'll give you one information. South Korea, North Korea, they said that they nearly 375 million dollar scams they steal from internet. So it's like this. Within a country is possible. Outside the country, policing is quite difficult on internet. Now the private network like intranet can be moderate. So moderated and or not moderated network. So this can be another point. The fourth point can be security. Intranet is not secure, although the internet is very, very secure. I mean relatively secure. Although nowadays after the TLS, the Transport Layer Security Protocol, the internet communication become very secure, but still there are loopholes and vulnerabilities are available. So if we talk about relatively, internet is more secure than internet. The other difference is that on internet you have a huge amount of data, okay, but on a intranet you have a limited amount of data. So huge data and relevant data. These are some of the differences. Any of four you will write, you will get the marks. Now let's go to the question number 7. Question number 7 is a scenario based question, and it's of 7 marks question. If you see here, it's 7 marks question. Whenever a question over 6 marks, remember you have to take good care of the understanding of the question, because these questions usually have 2 parts. One is scenario, other is question. So first we have a scenario. City Hospital has decided to use emerging technology to automate its packaging and dispensing of machines to patients. It has decided to use a robotic system which identify the medicine using the barcode. Discuss the advantages and disadvantages to the hospital using the robots within this environment rather than using human to carry out all the tasks. Now in this question that you have to understand first the key word of the question is discuss. So you have to discuss. It means that you have to point out all the elements. What you need to point out, you need to point out advantages and disadvantages. Advantages and disadvantages of what? Of using robots in the particular scenario that they have set. And how the using robots is better than human. That's another part of it. Okay, so it means that this question also demands a conclusion. Okay, so you will write advantages and disadvantages as well as the conclusion. So I will quickly or briefly type all the advantages that is in my mind to you. So the first advantages, the first advantages is environment. This is something that you should remember. Environment. Okay, so first of all, the robots can work in any types of environment, although the human cannot work in all sort of environment. For example, especially the melting, molting and forging industry, the way the robots can work, the man cannot work. So human have some limitation, like in this case we can extend the limits of robotics technologies. Number 2 is availability. Like you can easily write it 24/7 availability. 24/7 available. The third point you can write it's productivity. Like robots are more productive than human. Like in terms of productivity they are higher. Then accuracy. Robots are more accurate than human. Okay, so just don't memorize everything, just memorize the keywords that I'm writing for you. Next one is consistency. You know that robots are more consistent than human. Like if I put a person who gonna just put the cap on the bottle, he cannot be as consistent as a machine can, because the human have their own capabilities, a machine have its own. Okay, so this is something that we should remember. Like if you see right now I have given you 1 2 3 4 5. Okay, so you can write any 3 any 4, 5 or 4 from these to get the marks. I personally suggest there should be 5, like as I told you, the 5, or you can make more. Like for example, you can write cheaper in longer run. This can be another advantage. Or if you have any other advantage, you can also write like for example, instead of overhauling is better than paying salaries and bonuses. Like this is another point that you can make out of cheaper thing. Or the cost of production become less, cost of production will be lesser. Okay, so these are any 4 or 5 points you have to write. In terms of disadvantages, what you can write, these are expensive. Like buying technology is always expensive, and it's expensive. Like if something happened, like the whole system can collapse and cause many damages. Okay, setup cost is high. Whenever you set up a technology, it always be expensive. It cause unemployment. Okay, whenever the machine replace like 5 to 10 workers, so this cause unemployment, or the person have to learn some new skills to get the job done. Okay, and another disadvantage can be if barcodes are damaged, then human can read. And you also know the robots cannot respond to unknown situation. So human are better for unknown situation. So these are some of the points that you can remember. Write 3 to 4 and you will get the marks for it. And at the end you have to write the conclusion, like what do you suggest in the above mentioned scenario. If you ask me, I would suggest above mentioned scenario, robots are better than human. Okay, so just give the decent conclusion. So you can write, I personally suggest to use robots in place of human, as we need cheaper, faster, consistent production environment. Okay, so this is how, if you write the conclusion, you get the 1 mark. So you will get 3 marks, 3 marks and 1 mark. This is how the 7 marks will be given. Okay, I hope you understand. B part, again there is some scenario and the question. The system currently uses the barcode to read the data on medicine packets. Okay, as well as the shelf that the medicine packets are located on, like how the robots will understand. There must be a scanner, barcode scanner, that identify that this shelf has this particular medicine, and then the robot will pick the medicine from the shelf and deliver as per the prescription set by the doctor. The hospital is considering the use of embedded RFID chip into the packaging rather than the barcode. So they want to replace, for example, in this case, that like they want to replace the barcode technology with the RFID chip technology. So let's see this is the scenario, like they want to do that, but what they want from us, explain the advantages of using RFID chips in this scenario. So we need to tell like how RFID is better than using barcode reader. So there are many ways it's better. First way the RFID is better is because of its greater distance. It covers greater distance than the barcode reader. Second issue is the line of sight. Barcode work in a line of sight, although the radio frequency identification doesn't need that. Okay, RFID can be updated easily. Okay, and RFID, the reading rate is also faster, although barcode reader is also faster, but because of the line of sight, like if you need to scan like 3 or 4 5 items together, barcode cannot do that. So for this, like in a trolley, even if you put all the radio frequency identification chips, the receiver have the capability to read all at once. So this is one of the quality of the radio frequency identification. It is robust, it has larger storage capacity. Don't mind my spelling, and just mistype sometime. Okay, so the next one is greater security. Why it's more secure than barcode? Because barcode need a line of sight. So if someone hide a barcode inside the polythene bag and passes through a barcode scanner cannot read it. Okay, so we need a technology that can detect or find the theft even inside the polythene bag or shopping bag. Okay, so this is something, or it cannot misread. Misreading is another quality of RFID. It does not misread. Okay, because the both chip create a direct connection. So any of these, if you write any 6, you will get the 6 marks for this question. Nothing else you need to write. You just simply explain what are the advantages of RFID over barcode reader or not whatsoever. Just give some advantages and you will get the marks for this question. Now the next question is question number 8. Computer can be subject to hacking. Explain what is meant by hacking and the effect it can have on the data on the computers. This question have two parts. The first part is for 1 mark, the other part is for 2 marks. The first part, whenever you need to define, then you have to take care of some of the keywords. Like if I define hacking, I would say it's an unauthorized access to a computer. Okay, so unauthorized access and to a computer system is basically the two keywords that will give you 1 mark. So the 1 marks you will get. For the second marks, you have to explain what kind of problem it can cause to your computer. So it can bring the virus, like it can corrupt, edit, copy, delete, or add data to your personal data. This can be one of the reason, or he can create multiple copies of your personal data and use it for some personal purposes. Okay, and also he will get that unauthorized access. So these can be some of the point. You just write the first line for the 1 marks, then even the second line is enough for the 2 marks question. So as the 15 minutes is almost done, not just done, it's like 16 minutes is about to be completed. Inshallah, see you next meeting. Hi everyone, this is the third video in which we will start from the question number 9. This exam paper is 2017 and the question number 9, let's read it and try to understand it. A technician has told Mora that her computer might have a virus. This is the information they have given. Now the question, describe again. So they ask us to describe the 3 reasons why the technician might think this. There could be many possible reasons, not just the 3 only reason. Like one of the reason can be the system becomes slow, some of the files might be corrupted, the operating system behavior is not normal, it's become abnormal, the operating system becomes slow, the system start working slow, the RAM is seen as occupied, or like the system automatically reboot itself, some software start producing errors, or sometime maybe your computer is held in a health state, it's a hanging state, or you have to restart it. So these are some of the reasons that explains that there is a presence of virus in your computer. So you can put any 3 and you will get the answer. 3 marks, I mean. Now question number 10. Question number 10, let's talk about, it's also one of the very important question. A new employee of the company is required to log on to the company's computer system and will need to create a suitable password. Okay, this is the scenario they have given us. Now the question, give 3 rules that a company would have in place to help the employee choose a password. So it's well known. I need not to discuss it, but in a quick fashion I will just explain it to you, like what can be the possible rule. Use a strong password. Use the password of the combination of the capital letter and small letter, numbers and special characters. Do not keep your one password for a very long time. Do not use sentences or the correct spell word. Do not use the personal information in your password. Do not use the birthday in your password. Okay, so you have to use such an information in your password that is that you are the only person who know that. So this is how you can secure your password. You can put any 3 and you will get 3 marks. B part is he changes his password to this password. This is capital R and it's a combination. It seems to be a very good password. Explain why he has chosen this password. There could be many reasons. One of the major reasons would be the company's rules. The company provides the rules that where everyone have to use a combination of the capital letter, small letter, number, and special character. Okay, and this password does not seem any word and not easy to remember as well. So this is really hard to guess it as well. Like even if hackers try to hack it, hackers basically they try to guess the password. So again, it's more look like a digest, but not not a simple word. And you know, it's also hard to crack. So these are some of the points that any three of them you will write and you will get the answer. C part, when the password is changed, it is verified. Identify the type of verification which is carried out. So we are talking about verification, not validation. There are basically two basic type of verification. Okay, visual check and double data entry. So you can write either of it and you will get the marks. Question number 11 is basically related to your second year syllabus. So I will not discuss it, although if you want I will just quickly discuss it with you. But I don't think so it's a good idea to discuss it here. I will make a separate video for such sort of question which is related to your practical exam. So I will skip the question number 11 and I will move further. A part is like this, the B part like this part we can discuss because the testing. Question number 11 is the B part and the first one. Having creating a formula, it needs to be tested to show that it displays the correct command for each marks. Suggest an item of test data that would satisfy each of the following tests. Okay, each item of the test data must be different. So now see like what is it. So the first one, making progress and test using normal data. So expected outcome is making progress and we are using the normal data. If you see here, I think I have to discuss it all to solve it because I need to read it all and to check it, but we might have some information here that we can use it. So we can put any number between 75 to 100. Okay, this could be considered as normal data for making progress, like 75 or more marks. What about the second, satisfactory? The satisfactory is from 50 to 74. 50 to 74 is an extreme data, so in between it will be a normal data and a satisfactory. And the need improvement means 0 to 49, mean any like 0 to 49 extreme data. So the 0 and the 49 itself are extreme, so need improvement. Using the extreme data in satisfactory. In satisfactory, the extreme data is 50 and 74. So here you will write 50 and 74 because we are talking about the extreme possibilities. The same is to the next. Explain why testing is important. Okay. So testing is important in many different ways. Number one, you can test like your system is functioning perfect. Okay. There is another way, like you can check the errors, like what sort of error are still happening with your system before it start functioning itself. That's why there is a degree in masters that you can do software testing in MSc in software testing, or you can specialize. There basically MIT program in an umbrella. You can specialize in software testing. Okay, the next one is like the system is meeting the expectation of your client. So this can be one of the reason as well. So put any two and you will get the marks. C part we will not discuss, we'll skip it. Okay, it's simple, but I just want to skip it because I know this will create some ambiguities. So I will make inshallah a separate video for it. Question number 12. Brian is creating a website for a sports club. Okay, the part A. Tick whether the following statement refers to the behavior layer or the content layer or the presentation layer of the website. Basically, these behavior, content and presentation layer are the formation of the website. This question is also related to the other papers, but some of the part is also discussed in your syllabus for the year 1. So I will discuss this. Okay, we can discuss it. Like number 1, to format the whole web page. If you want to format the whole web page, you are formatting the front. Like format mean like arranging. So you are working on the front. So this is presentation layer. So it's all about presentation. Formatting is all about presentation. Consists of navigation pointer. So navigation pointer, like whenever you navigate on the basis of content you enter. So content is the answer here. Let me take it this I can do quickly. And the next one, defined by the CSS, cascading style sheet. Cascading style sheet is all about designing the front page, so it's all about presentation. To enter the scripting language to a web page. So when you enter a script to a web page, so what you are doing, it shows the behavior. Like you can put the validation check or verification check, so it shows the behavior of your web page. B part, you have to define the following internet terms. The total marks is 4. So first one is HTTPS, Hypertext Transfer Protocol Secure Socket Layer, or you can also say Hypertext Transfer Protocol Secure. Okay, so these are the abbreviation, or if you write this, even the abbreviation, you will get 1 mark. And then you have to explain like it's a secure version of HTTP. This will give you the 2 marks, but you can write more. All data through this protocol is being encrypted. It creates a secure channel between your client and server, so it's also a secure protocol. So if you write like even the question is of 4 marks only on HTTPS, if you put these 4 points you will get 4 marks, or 2 of it will give you 2 marks. Next is URL. It is uniform resource locator. Okay, uniform resource locator, it's also very important, like web address. Like whenever we enter an address, we put in URL, like www.google.com is one of the URL. So when you write the uniform resource locator, you will get 1 mark. When you explain like why we use it, so it identify the resource location, like server location, okay, or over World Wide Web, okay, using internet. So this will give you the 2nd marks as well. And in simple words, even if you write like it's an address of a website, it's also correct, and you will get the marks for it as well. Let's go to the next question. Question number 13. It's one of the very easy question. Let's do it together. For each of the statement below, identify the health problem most likely to be associated with them and a possible solution to the problem you answer. Your answer should be indifferent in each case. Okay, so number 1, prolonged use of the keyboard. We know when the keyboard use is prolonged, what kind of health problem it will create. It will create RSI, repetitive strain injury. Okay, and some kind of the tunnel syndrome you might have. You might have a back pain as well, if you, or the wrist pain. If your keyboard is so high, you might have a shoulder pain as well. So in simple words, RSI is the one of the major reason that you can write. And how many different way you can escape from this? The possible solution: use the wrist pad, use the ergonomic keyboards. Okay, take a regular break, relax it, try to do some exercise of your wrist, clockwise and anti-clockwise. You can move your wrist and your arm and shoulder, do some stretching exercise, do some yoga. So this is how it will be helpful. The second, looking at the monitor for a long period of time, it also causes some of the problems, especially your eye related. So eye strain is one of the problem that you can mention here. Or if any other eye problem you can mention it here. It also causes dry eyes and headache, so you can write it. The possible solution, again, it should be different. So you can take rest, you can close your eyes for a while, okay, and you can glare your screen. Okay, you can use the ultraviolet rays protection glass. Okay, or blue screen technology, you can use it, which create less impact on your eyes. Use some of the UV protected glasses. Many people in our world, like, they are using the glasses while using computer, although their eyesight is perfect, but just to avoid the impact of computer on your eyes. Sitting too long in one position, this causes some of the health problems, especially back problems are caused by this. So the disc related problem, it can cause, you will have a bad posture as well. So what you can use some footrest, take regular breaks, or use ergonomic chair or adjustable chair, which can create a good support of your legs and your back. Next question number 14. A library has a relational database consists of two tables, one containing the information about it and the books, and the other containing the information about the borrower. Below are the two lists of showing the field name, and each table the borrower can borrow the several books at a time. So you can see the borrower ID, the table and its field, and the borrower table and its field. So book table and borrower table. So the question number 1, identify the primary key in the book table. So we are talking about this book table. So ID is usually considered as primary key. So this is the answer of A. Identify the foreign key in the book table. In the book table, the foreign key creates a relationship between the book table and the borrower table. So borrower ID in the book table is foreign, foreign key. Let me write it. Sorry. So foreign key in simple. 14C. The relationship. Identify the types of relationship that exist between the tables. Okay, so the relationship is what? They have one to many or many to one relationship, because the borrower or more than like one book can be borrowed by more than one borrowers. So this can define like one to many relationship. Next one, D. Describe two advantages of using the relational database rather than a flat file database. A simple table in Excel is called flat database file. A relational database is when we use more than two tables that are related to one another. Okay, so what are the two advantages that you can write? I can tell you more than two. Just try to memorize as much as you can. The data is only stored once, and there should not be any duplication. Okay, so this is one of the reason that we create relation database rather than flat file. For example, the two students are studying. Okay, they have same file. Okay, so in database you have to type their information twice, although most of the information is same. So in the relation database we do not do that. We create the parents table separately, student table separately, and then we relate them to one another. So this is how we control the redundancy. So redundancy is one of the benefit. We remove it. The storage space become less, database become more efficient. Okay, even the complex queries will become simple, and the basic security is also improved. And the inconsistent data we can make consistent by normalization in the relational database diagram. Okay, so next part is E. When the system analyst was creating the new system, she had to produce an appropriate data types for each field. So write down the most appropriate data type. So you have to write the data type for each field. Cost of the book. So what's the cost usually in currency? So currency is numeric, so you can use any numeric currency or a fixed decimal point kind of data type. You can use it here. The next one is the borrower name. Borrower name usually text, or some name also have the character like Malcolm X or Elizabeth 2, Elizabeth 3. So they might be some alphanumeric characters. So you can use text or alphanumeric, both are correct. Telephone contact, they are always in numeric, so you can enter the numeric values. So the data type will be numeric. Date due back, this is as actually date, so the data type will also be the date. I hope you will understand. There are a few questions left which we will do in next video. Thank you. This is the last video of 2017 paper, October November, variance 1. So let's talk about the question number 15. We end up at the question number 14. This is question number 15, and 16 will be the last question. Let's do it. Many people think that there should be a greater control of the use of internet. Okay. The question is, describe the advantages and disadvantages of policing the internet. This question is of 5 marks. Okay, so to get full 5 marks, you have to write at least 4 advantages and 4 disadvantages. Remember that. Like in normally in the class, the teachers give you extra marks. Like even if you write 4 advantages, they will give you like 4 marks or at least 3 marks. This is incorrect. Okay, so 4 advantages, 4 disadvantages, then you will get 5 marks. So we are talking about the policing internet. Okay, so let's see one side and then we will see the other side. So first advantages. So when we police internet, it helps us to prevent the illegal material over internet. Okay, so this is one of the advantage of policing internet. It also helps prevent pornography. Okay, it also helps to prevent discussion groups, like in discussion group language, like it's not appropriate usually. People used to put the racial comments, hatred, bad language, or racism is already being there. So the policing internet can control it, and we can also ensure the copyright laws. Policing internet also remove the access to the dark web. So there could be many possible vulnerabilities like hacking or other kind of attack can be more filtered. But there are some disadvantages. The first disadvantage is that you cannot police like 100% of internet. You can police the internet of a certain country, within a country, or traffic that are coming into a country and outside a country, because the jurisdiction is one of the big matter. Number 2 is the unsuitable material is quite easily available. This is one of the disadvantages. One can easily search for something and you will get something else. Overloaded information brings some bad content for the young kids as well. And the rise of the mobile communication lessen the impact of internet. Okay, and there is a freedom of speech available and the people are misusing it, and which cause blasphemous comment and hatred among different religions and nations as well. The last but not the least, but remember, like, it's very difficult. The span of internet is very large and it is very difficult to police the internet. So these are the points. Put any four points and you will get the marks. Question number 6 is one of the longest question. 16, I mean, longest question, give you 8 marks. This is the level question. Level 1, level 0, level 1, level 2, and level 3. So if your answer is level 0, it means you will get no marks. It means that your content is not valid or relevant to the question. Level 1 answer, like you answer one part only. Okay, either benefits or drawbacks. So your marks will be from 1 to 3 maximum. And if you answer like both the benefits and the drawbacks, and you have a justifiable conclusion, so your marks will be in between 4 to 6. But if your content is justified, reasoned answer with a clear ground, with a very clear answer, and with the relevant information, and you put all benefits and drawback with the reasons, and you explain a justifiable conclusion, you will get the full 8 marks. Most of the students do mistake. They range themselves into 4 to 6 marks, but you can increase your marks as you want. So let's start with the benefits first. So the first benefit, well, I think I didn't read the question. Discuss the benefit and the drawbacks of using cloud for storing data rather than the other method. We all know, like, cloud storage, like Google Drive is one of the cloud storage, OneDrive is one of the cloud storage, and there are Dropbox is also another one. So there are many cloud storage available, freely available as well. So there are some benefits, there are some drawbacks. So let's start benefit first. Data is accessible anywhere. Like you can access your data from any place you want, like from my PC, from somewhere else, and you can also synchronize the data on multiple devices as well. So this is one of the benefits, and I have also mentioned the reason. You have seen that. The second point is that you need not to buy some storage devices as well. Your data is stored somewhere on a server which is accessible using internet, okay, and so your dependency on a device is completely finished, and nearly 15 GB space you can find on Google Drive, which is free of cost. So you have even if you buy a 15 GB USB, it's quite expensive, but you are getting a cloud storage for free of cost. The third point could be like more storage space than using the physical devices. So cloud give you a lot of free storage, okay. If you use multiple clouds, so you have a variety of storage available free of cost for you. You need not to have a storage management issue, because it's secure already. The cloud storage, wherever they store your data, it's a highly secure place, because they want their client to be feel secure, like his data is not being copied, his data is not being forged, and his data is not being lost. Another advantage can be like you are not paying for that as well, so this can be another advantage. And the data is automatically backup. When you install the Google Drive on your computer, so whatever the data you will store, it automatically synchronize and upload it to the drive as well. So it's regular backups are also available, and access to data is also easy. Some of the drawbacks can be you have no control on your data. For example, somehow if the data center is being burned out, or the location where they store your data is being lost, the hard disk is being lost, so you can no longer access your data. But it's very rare nowadays, because even the data center have 1, 2 or 3 tiers backup. Another advantage is the data that when you are communicating online with your data center, like most of the time the communication is not encrypted or secure. But nowadays they are start providing it, but this can be considered as one of the initial disadvantage. Another one could be the cost of storing data. Like for individuals it's fine, but for the companies, they have to buy the cloud storage. So when they go for buying a cloud storage, it's already expensive, because they are not just providing them the space, they are also providing them the data security. They ensure the data security, and they are also ensure the virus or antivirus protection. It's also difficult if you store your data on multiple locations, so you cannot retrieve all the data at once from the different locations. So it's also very much dependent on your internet speed. If your internet is not working, it means that your data is not in your access. It's also difficult to delete the copies. Whenever you upload for example an Excel file or a Word file on your Google Drive, for example, and you try to open it, you will see an automatic copy is being generated along with the file, which is the Google Docs, okay, just for the security. But you have multiple copies, and it may make your life mess. So once you have given all the merits and demerits, then you have to give a reasoned conclusion. You can say that either there are some drawbacks and vulnerabilities, but that is being cured by the data center companies. The Google says that our data center on our drive and our account is more secure than your bank account. So imagine the level of security they are providing us free of cost. So the cloud storing is the future, and we should go for it. So this is how you can reason conclusion, and you will get 8 marks for this question. So this is all. Thank you so much. And the one question that I have skipped, Okay, this we will discuss later. This is an Excel question, simple. I just need to write it, but it's okay. Inshallah, we will do it later. Thank you so much for today.